If you're caring for a child with special needs and feel like you're constantly passing information between doctors, therapists and school, then this video is for you. This video isn't about making the system perfect, it's just a few practical tips to help different professionals work together a little bit better without it all falling onto you. In an ideal world, doctors, therapists, schools would all communicate with each other automatically, but in reality, parents and carers often become the go-between, and that could be quite exhausting. So we've got 5 tips, and these aren't about adding more to your plate, they're about reducing friction, protecting your energy, and hopefully making coordination feel a little bit more manageable. Let's get into them. One of the most helpful things we've done is create a single, simple summary of our child. It could just be 1 or 2 pages and include things like the key diagnosis, their needs, the current therapies, key contacts, for example, the school, might be a paediatrician, for us, epilepsy clinic, physio, spinal consultant, etc. Even, noting the contacts within the local authority can be handy. Also within the summary, jot down what the child likes, perhaps, what the child finds challenging. And ultimately, it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be written beautifully. It just really needs to exist. And just having one place you can point people to saves you from repeating the same information over and over again. And it helps professionals see the same consistent picture rather than fragments. And personally, as a family, if we're meeting someone new, we may even have a copy printed in preparation or email it to them ahead of the meeting. It's okay to ask professionals to share reports or information directly with each other, especially when recommendations overlap. You might want to say something as simple as, would you be happy for this report to be shared with my son, my daughter's school, or could it be sent directly to the therapist? It also gently shifts some of the coordination away from yourself. It's completely understandable to feel, defensive when you've had to fight for support, but reports often work best as bridges, not weapons. So for example, sharing an OT, an occupational therapy report with the school, sharing school concerns with a doctor, perhaps passing on recommendations without framing them as, demands. You're not asking everyone to agree, you're helping them see the same child with that consistent message from different angles. This really helps understanding, and that shared understanding can make future conversations just a little bit easier. So again, as a family, we keep a very simple record of appointments, changes, any concerns that we have. And this can be, a notes app, on your phone, just some simple bullet points, maybe some dates, some short phrases, nothing detailed, not even any full sentences are required, really just some prompts. And we find this, incredibly helpful, particularly when someone asks, how does this start? A very pointed or specific question in your mind in the moment could go completely blank. So, it's not about documentation, it's about supporting your memory when perhaps you're feeling a bit tired, a bit exhausted. And the final tip, and this one took a little bit of time, at some point we had to decide, what information we would no longer carry alone. So for example, it might look like asking school to read reports themselves, saying it's covered in the report instead of re-explaining, forwarding emails rather than summarising them. And that way it allows you to protect your energy somewhat. And coordination really shouldn't come at the cost of your well-being. So let's have a reality check. Even with all of these 5 things in place, things naturally, due to the system, due to the complexity of the processes, the amount of people, they're not always going to run smoothly. Messages do get missed, reports get delayed. On occasion, people will disagree, but it doesn't mean that you're failing. And more often than not, it just means the systems themselves are stretched. So in summary, if you feel like you're the only thing holding everything together right now, you're definitely not alone. Many parents, many carers are quietly doing this work in the background, unseen, unpaid, and it's emotionally heavy. But what you're doing matters, even when it doesn't always feel acknowledged. If this video helped, even just a little bit, please subscribe, please support the channel, please leave a comment. Kindly share what's helped you get professionals working together. You don't have to do this perfectly, you just have to keep going, and that's already a lot. Thank you.